All right, look like the timer just restarted there. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the JD Photo Podcast. So today we have Nia Lee from Nia Lee Creative and Peter from Kapture Moment. Both of these guys are very talented photographers. Peter is more on the photography and videography side. He does both and specializes in weddings. And Nia Lee is both a content creator and photographer, which is really interesting because it's not so often that you hear of people practicing both content creations and photography. So there's a bit of controversy around that industry of content creation at the moment. So we are going to dive into a few topics there. And we're going to get a lot of valuable insight from the wedding photography industry, given both of these guys are extremely talented. I would say Peter's work from Kapture is mostly defined by a very soft and elegant style, very true to life, very authentic, but also a little bit of an editorial edge in some of his post images. And Nia is very similar in that her images are very true to life, and she just has a great energy. And I've had the pleasure to work with her on several occasions, particularly for wedding editorial, where we produce some really great work. So super excited for this episode. Let's get straight in.
And that's how it started. And I'm doing content since then. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. So I just realized I just had forgotten to hit record, so we're now recording the podcast. Oops. So you're going to lose a little bit at the front. Sorry guys, I missed out the first 5 minutes there. Lucky I didn't leave that the whole time. So let's jump back into kind of that COVID time. So COVID time was it was a really interesting time, wasn't it? Where photography kind of just emerged from everyone was really worried it was going to kind of go extinct, but it seems like a lot of people kind of came into the industry around that time. And so how was your experience coming into the industry, and how was like transitioning full time in during that period? If you don't mind, Peter, you just mind popping that wire down on there.
Wire? This one?
Yes.
Just like that?
Sorry, just like see how that wire's sticking out. There's a clip on there that you can, just so I can see your face a bit better.
How's this? This is good?
That's good. Perfect.
Yeah, so COVID times I made redundant by the company that I work for, and then I got bored. Like I was actually like enjoying it the first like a month or two. I was like, this is awesome actually. Like, but then after the third month, I was like, oh, this is so boring. Like I don't even know what to do now. Like there's no jobs sort of everywhere. And then since I've been doing it on and off before COVID, I decided to invest it like probably 90% of the redundancy money to the gears.
What was the gear that you got, man?
So I invested what I invested at the beginning. It was like a couple of A7 trees and then a couple lenses and like recorders and stuff like that. So I used the redundancy money for that, and then starting to take out. Like the way I started, like I was offering actually people to do like free engagement shoot, I think a lot of people that the industry that's starting out does that as well.
That's a good way to do it, eh?
And then they ended up booking me for the weddings,
So how many free wedding shoots or pre-wedding shoots did you do?
The free ones, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
to get your foot in the door.
Probably, I can't recall, but probably no more than 10 to be honest.
Oh,
and
wow.
it just
That's
took
quite
off.
a few. Wow.
That's very good.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
that's pretty amazing story. So any viewers, and then there you go, 10 free wedding shoots or pre-wedding shoots, and then you're in.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
That's all it takes.
And it was a lucky time as well, being in Perth, I think, because the lockdown didn't actually full lockdown. If you hear as well, James.
It was. It was a weird time, right? Because we did have the lockdown, but events kind of ran on and off, right? So there'll be like periods of time where there'll be like heaps happening, and then there'll be like a 3-month gap, and then it will just be heaps again,
Yeah.
So it kind of webbed and flow. We didn't really. I think in Melbourne, right? Melbourne and Sydney were the real bad places in Australia. Got 2 viewers in here at the moment. Just give us a thumbs up who's in, and let us know how COVID was where you are, and if you managed to break into any industries during that period of time. So Nia, how did you find that transition to full time? Scary. You did it a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of lucky.
Thanks
I
for
guess.
the follow, Jade. J Fund. I really appreciate that. We're going to dive into some questions if you have any for photography and videography. Both of these guys are incredible at weddings. So, Nia, tell us that transition to full time.
Yeah. I was kind of lucky, I guess, because back when I was shooting film photography, I used to join the film photography group in Facebook, and then they used to have like events with like models and stuff, and then I would go there and then shoot the models, and I get to know different photographers, and I asked them, do you need a second shooter?
Right.
You know, and to get myself into weddings. And
So you did the classic second shooting route.
Yeah.
Trying to learn that way. Yeah. Who did you shoot for? Who was some of the inspiration for you?
There are a couple of them, because it wasn't like a real wedding at first. Like it was like a event where I think it's more like a style shoot where they have so many photographers, and then.
Do you like style shoots? Do you think they're good?
I love it. Yeah, that's how I started. I guess
It's how it's helped you get into the industry as well.
That's right.
Yeah, I think they're fantastic, and
I
don't know why they hate online for it. You know.
No, you learn a lot, especially if
so
you are
much.
shooting with other photographers,
Yes.
right? You get to see people's styles and how they pose it. And at first, because I've never done wedding before, and these people are professional, so I studied their movement, the way they talk to the models, and like.
Yep, and that's some of the most important stuff to learn,
Yes,
right? It's
that's
how to
right.
communicate and make people feel comfortable in front of
That's
the camera.
right.
I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
From there I started like asking like real weddings. It started small with like some engagement first, and like I'm offering my service for free so that I can go to their weddings, and they say okay with it. And my first big wedding was with Chantel Venter Photography. I said to Chantel, can I go with you? Like I've never done like a big wedding. So Chantel said okay, which I'm very grateful. And since then, we really clicked and we worked a lot together. And
Did you find the industry relatively easy to get into, or did you find there was people gatekeeping more or less on the word there?
Yes, like depends, I think. Like some people are gatekeeping, and that's okay. I just moved on and find the ones who are actually like welcoming and like helpful.
So some people didn't want to hear anything about it. So you were just
No.
persistent.
Yeah, I
Persistent.
just keep asking like
Yep.
so many different photographers. I will just
Hey,
keep reaching them. Yeah, hey, do you need second shooter? You know? And I also
good.
ask
Yeah, it's a
people,
hustle.
do you
Yeah.
need content creator? That's when it started as well. So
And we will get into that, eh?
Yeah.
So for those who are watching, Nia is both a content creator and a photographer, which is really interesting because there's a lot of controversial opinion towards content creators at the moment, and a lot of hatred from photographers as well. I personally like content creators.
Thank
I
you,
don't
James.
I use them all the time, and I work with them professionally very regularly. I think they feel the space that's good for couples, you know, to be able to have that option as well.
that's right.
Yeah, we will jump into that in a second. I've lost my train of thought on this wire. We do have a couple of viewers in here. So who's in here at the moment? Anyone have any questions for us? We can answer some questions related to photography and videography. Would love to hear some audience input. Let's actually dive into that. So wedding content creation. What's your opinion on it, both of you guys? Love it, hate it, despise it?
I start first?
Yeah, go for it, Peter.
I don't mind content creator. I think at the end of the day,
Where maybe I'll ask a better question. Where do you think content creators fit into the day?
I think content creator is mainly, for couples that they kind of want a fast turnover. The one that wants, they be able to see it maybe the night of their wedding or like the next day of their wedding. It's like, oh my God, like I can see some of these snippets already. But I can see it as well at the same time why it can be like a is it a hiccup like for a photographer or videographer, and they feel
like they're stepping on their toes or something
like
that.
that. But to me personally, I don't have any you know, any problems, because I think it fits in the marketplace for, you know, for
But
those like
the thing
very
that
fast.
I feel about that is you're going to get bad vendors in any discipline, not just content creation. So if
Yeah.
someone, you know what I mean? If
That's
someone's going to be
right.
stepping on your toes, they don't have
Yeah.
to be a content creator. You can have an amazing content creator who actually knows how to collaborate with the photographer.
Exactly, yeah,
Or you could have a bad photographer who's an
yeah,
asshole, you know.
yeah.
They had Everlast on, and they told a story about how they got into the industry, and the reason they started offering joint photo and video packages was because they saw very often photographers and videographers clashing. So this is
Wow.
the thing that's
They
been going
don't
on
get
a
along.
Yeah.
long time. It's not just new with content creators, and
yeah.
I think you guys can't. Well, not you because you're photographers,
Yeah.
but you know, content creators get the flack because they're new to the industry, right? And
Yeah.
they're just the new kind of puppy in town that are getting
Yeah.
pushed to the ground and bullied a little bit, and it's just a bit unfair, I think, I have to say.
I think if everyone knows their places, and then everyone have the mindset of like, hey, look, you know, we all here, you know, on the wedding, for someone's wedding, and then we're gonna create, you know, the best of our abilities, you know, the best product probably, or like the best experience for the
That's it.
couples.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's everyone in the, you know, everyone happy, everyone, you know, everyone support each other on the day, and everyone, you know, if I'm doing photos and I feel like, oh, I'm out of, you know, ideas, like, do you want to, you know, I'll be asking probably like Nia, who's the content creator. Nia, do you want to do anything else? And then, you know,
I'm just going to bring
That's
in,
good.
I think it's Logan McNeil. So, hey, we haven't met yet, James, but I have met Peter. Hi, Peter.
Oh, hey, Logan, how are you?
I have to jump out now, but I will catch up on the episode on Spotify later. Love the pod so far, James. Thank you very much, Logan. Really appreciate that, man. Really, really love the input. Anyone else in here, feel free to pop us a message. So there you go. You have a fan, Peter. Or Logan. Yeah.
It's fun.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I guess if content creators, they have the right mindset and they have the experience, they won't have any problems with us photographers or videographers, because what I find the most problematic one is the one who just started and they don't have any experience in weddings before.
That's a good point, because
Yeah.
content creation has very low barrier to entry, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like you could just kind of have your iPhone 16 Pro Max and film a
Exactly.
wedding, and
Yeah.
then, you know, you could be calling yourself a content creator, maybe do 5 weddings, 10 weddings, and not really understand, you know.
No.
And maybe there were smaller weddings as well, and there's a
Yes.
big difference between people who have
Completely
yeah,
different.
small
Yeah.
weddings. They don't really, you know, necessarily put a lot of effort in, compared to those weddings where it's like 15-minute time increments, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like they're completely different experiences and an
Exactly.
entirely different skill set. So yeah, have you seen that in the industry where content creators are kind of maybe overconfident? I don't know. I think maybe we're all
very
a little
green.
bit very green. Maybe we're all a little bit guilty of it
Yeah.
as well. But I think it's probably something that I reckon is very prominent in the content creation space, probably.
Yeah, it's one thing to not have the experience as a wedding content creator, and another thing when you don't have any experience in any content creator, any content creations. That's the worst. Like, you just want to shoot, but you didn't have any experience in doing any contents before. Yeah, and then you just shoot everything, and you don't even understand that this is someone's wedding.
Yeah.
You know, like, you cannot repeat it, you cannot redo it. And I have a lot of different experience where the content creator say like, oh, can we do it again? No, we have to move on. Like, me as a photographer, like, no, we have to go. Like, I've done the posting, we are on like
Times, yeah.
yeah, and we are on the clock and we have to go to the next session. Like, I can't redo this again. So you have to be ready at the same time as when the photographer is posing, because this is your time to capture, you know, the behind the scene and do your movement. You don't even need to post them because the photographer is doing everything for you. But yeah, so that's another thing. I guess that's also why photographers don't really like content creators, like this kind of content creators who
But
don't know
it's
where
a-
to start.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's not really content creators. It sounds like it's more inexperience. You know?
Yeah, inexperienced one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Peter?
Well, 90% of the content creator that, you know, probably 95% of the content creator that I work with, they like from the get-go when we introduce each other, you know, during the ceremony, because they usually come during the ceremony and stuff.
Yeah.
And they said straight away to me like, hey, look, you know, I'll try to be, behind your shoulders at all times, and try to not to be in your frame, and I respect that a lot. Like knowing that like she or he won't be in the frame, in like in the photos and stuff like that. Even like when I do videos as well, like I try to say that to the photographer, like if like, look, just tap me on the back, like if I'm if you want your shot, like you deserve to have your shot.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I say that to everyone as well. If I'm working with content creators, videographers, whatever it might be, I'm always like, I say to them, like, let me know if I'm in your shot. Let me know if I need to move anything. Let me know, like, how can I work with you as well? Because I think that collaboration's huge.
True. And I find it like, like if being a content creator or videographer, like I can have like a slightly, maybe a different angle on the left or on the right. But then as a photographer, you can, because it's a still image. I feel like if it's not properly centered, you feel like it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like
I do. What do you reckon's harder, photography or videography?
Good question. I got this question so many times.
Definitely photography.
There you go.
Like to me, I feel more pressured sometimes doing photos because like
I think photography's
you're gonna be like directive and like people expect more before as well. Like people ask, hey, like what's the timeline? I kind of want these shots and stuff like that. But then when I do videos, I'm not as stressful.
Video is chill.
I think there's challenges to both, right? I think video is more equipment management. Having more equipment. But yes, there's not as much of an emphasis on planning timeline support from the videographer. That's more the photographer who manages that from experience. But that can be changed, I think, I think videographers definitely have the ability to step into that place of doing the timeline management, even content creation. You could, if you take that initiative and you have enough weddings under your belt and you know how a wedding flows. I shot my first wedding at 18 years old, actually. I was thinking about it. So, I've been doing it. I'm 28 now, so I've been doing it a long time and didn't fully immerse in weddings, but I had the experience, of understanding how a timeline for a wedding looks. So I felt really confident when I decided to tackle it with two hands, and go like, I'm doing weddings, and timeline support and planning was a big part of what I did. And because I had that confidence, because I knew how long it would take me to get certain shots, how long it would take me to use lighting, how long each part of the day kind of needs to have a stress-free experience as well, which is really important, I think, because the last thing you want is to have a massive shot list in 20 minutes and then the bride stressing out to get all those shots. Like sometimes you do just need to say, like, there's not enough time. Like, what's more important to you? Like enjoying the moment or running around trying to get 20 photos that, are probably going to look not so good because they don't have that authenticity to them because we're freaking out. So I think there's room in every discipline to be able to do that, but it's more your experience as a whole, right? And I wouldn't be throwing one discipline under the other to say that, content creators are less experienced than videographers and videographers less than photographers. I think that's just a general misconception maybe that is kind of spreading through the industry. I think like there's a big misconception as well that wedding photographers are the best. Like if you don't shoot weddings and you only, like, let's say you're a portrait photographer, you're not as good as a wedding photographer. And I think that's a misconception that needs to be broken down a little bit because it's not necessarily true. I know really, really amazing portrait photographers who could produce way better work than me as a wedding photographer. And I know commercial photographers who could produce incredible images that are better than what I do. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm all about breaking down stereotypes and stuff like that. And I think the content creation stereotype needs to kind of be broken down a little bit as well.
That's right.
So
we can always like get along. So maybe communicate at the beginning and, like you said, collaborate. And just working together to create like the best experience for the couple.
I think that's key, right? It's being client-centric.
Client-centric instead of like self-centric where like, oh, I just want to, I don't care, about the others. Like, I just want to create the best, content.
The best images I can.
Exactly. When I'm doing content creation, like I know my place, you know,
Mm.
like because I'm not there to capture like the main, even though I am a photographer and I do want to get the shot, but because they already have a photographer and they already have a videographer, I wouldn't want the same shot as these two. So most of the time, if you have me as a content creator, when we're doing wedding together, you won't even find me in the middle. Like I will always find different angle and different shot, so that the couple can see different point of
Changes it
view.
up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good point, Nia. I've got to bring it to the audience for a second. So we have 2 viewers in here at the moment. I think we got Bradley and we got I think it's Akbar. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Let us know if you have any questions, guys, for photography and videography about weddings. Let us know where you're from. Let us know where you're watching from. What time is it over there? So one thing I really wanted to start to dive into is content creation the right term then? And I want to know what both of you guys think on that, because content creation is it's a weird term, isn't it?
It is.
It's like what is content creation?
Exactly.
What do
And
you
so
guys
many
think?
of my couples, they don't even have social media existence. You know, like I send everything and then I ask them, oh, can I tag you on the Instagram? Oh, no, this is just for me. And I share it with my families and friends using phone, like literally just send the link to them. But they don't share it on social media at all. So like, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to be a content creator because this is not really content in the end. It's just a memory for them, you know.
So what does your content creation package include? Maybe we should go into that.
Yeah.
Like, what is content creation to start?
So, for example, if they have like a full wedding day, 8 hours, they will get 3 little reels. Maximum, I would say 30 seconds.
Are they edited reels?
Yeah, edited reel. Sometimes I do 1 minute if the wedding is long, like they have personal vows that is one of a kind, for example. I usually incorporate that a little bit as well, like the funny ones or the bloopers ones. I will put it into the reels. But other than that, it's 3 reels.
So is it like categorized by day?
By
how
day. So
So
by
moment.
part of the day.
Yep.
So get ready.
Yep.
And then ceremony and reception.
Okay,
so
cool.
3.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep, great, cool.
I used to give like more, like a little, maybe, what do you call that? Like a wish from the couple? From
like,
the guests?
the Vox Pox. Or
Yeah, like a video guest
interviewing-
book.
Yeah. Okay, sure. But you're interviewing people.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
I
Yeah,
go around and ask people and ask them to like talk to the camera and wish them, wish the couple. Yeah. And sometimes like a little detail.
And what about the raw footage?
The raw footage, they get everything.
So they get everything. So you kind of film, you just document things authentically, candidly.
Yes.
During portrait session, where do you see content creation fit in? Maybe I'll ask you, Peter. So
during
so where should a content creator fit in during like portrait session?
probably like if they're on the side and then they're capturing, you know, like the candid moments, I guess, or like, you know,
what's a good experience you've had working with a content creator? How do they run through that?
One of the things that I can remember, if they can help me sort of create the energy that I kind of want, you know what I mean? Especially like, especially if you're shooting solo, like you kind of want like a wingman or a wingwoman to
so a team.
Hey, you
people,
know, like
people
like
aren't
hype them up and bring them up, bring the energy level up.
See,
and
we're not horrible people. Peter likes content creation.
So
he'll work with you.
I would definitely help you like fluff the dress or like holding
even
the veils.
like little stuff like that, you know, like even when I do videography sometimes, and I know like I'm working with a photographer that is a solo shooting, like I know with the videography, it's not really, you're not really capturing like the portraits of like the family portraits, you know, like, so I'll be like, hey, like, do you want a glass of water? You know, like, because I know like you can't be anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Stuff like that. Like, I guess supporting each other on the day is kind of like, it's like very important.
It's so important, that vendor collaboration. What's up, Kanja and the House of Arts? Thanks for jumping in. Let us know where you're from and what you're up to. I love that input. I agree. I think you kind of need to have collaboration. I think that's the main part of being a professional service provider.
Yeah, assisting each other as well.
What industry were you in before, Peter?
I was a chef.
Okay. Well, your kitchen's pretty collaborative, you know.
Very, very different industry. I don't know. Do you mind if I just?
Yeah, mate. Go. Yeah. Feel free to top up the water and stuff. Yeah, I think you have a very good mindset though, you know, about collaboration and about vendors kind of relating with each other and providing a good service that way. I think that's what makes a service provider really stand out from the rest is when they don't have that standoff kind of attitude. And my experience is our industry relies on relationships because it's such a close, small community. And if you don't
Perth is very small.
Yeah. But if you don't have that attitude where you're like, you know, I'm gonna try and provide, you know, a polite mannerism, and relate with other people and collaborate with them, I think you're just gonna get shut out. And maybe those people are gonna create their own little close knit communities.
We have to respect each other. You know, like a lot of people, they're very snobby and like think they're better than each other. But
I think when I really look at the photographers who are standing out and who get the opportunities to produce incredible work, I find and I hear stories about them doing things like educational groups early on, or they host things like educational editorials, and I know one that comes up all the time is James Simmons. And then, you know, over time, interviewing people, and every single person I speak to says his name, who's in weddings, you know. And I'm like, that guy's built such a brand name for himself. And the further I get into this kind of rabbit hole about why he's so popular, a big part of it was he had this like community group where he did like education for these up and coming photographers. He was a tutor and stuff like this. So he gave back to the community. And I think that's a big part of what allows someone to get their name out there in a positive way and allows people to continue to circulate it, which is a huge part of, you know, exposure, right? And becoming popular, which is essentially what marketing and branding is, you know, is how do you get your name out?
That's right.
More.
Because word of mouth is very powerful.
Yeah.
What do you think the best referral pathway is? Do you think it is word of mouth?
I think word of mouth, vendors' recommendations.
90% of my bookings are like word of mouth.
Like I haven't even put a single ad since over a year, to be honest. And I don't even market a thing. I feel, and it's all based on referrals from
That's
either the past couples or some other vendors that enjoy working together.
You must do a really good job.
People come and refer. But I'm blessed. I'm like I'm so grateful that people support me in that way. I guess.
I think referrals are huge. They're definitely my highest hit rate. I put a lot into marketing, a lot into Facebook ads because you're never going to have a high hit with Facebook ads for something like weddings, which are very personal, but it's when you get that one or two from the ad, and then, you know, that opens a whole new referral network, you know what I mean? Because it usually, like you said, you realize it's that you kind of reach into different circles or whatever, different friend groups, and then they refer you on. But if you can reach into another one, you know, then that's kind of, there's a bit of unrealized cost of actually getting a lead from a Facebook ad, I think.
I can't believe in like law. What do you call law of attraction? Is that right?
Law of attraction.
Yeah.
Where like the more you push yourself, like trying to sell yourself too hard, the more people kind of like, you know, step away and
I'm guilty of that sometimes. You know, sometimes my sales calls are fantastic. So I go to a sales call, I always try and not sell myself. That's my thinking. I want to ask as many questions as I can and see if I could provide something that they want. That's how I go into a sales call. But the other day I had one and I was like tired, and I swear I felt like I didn't even have a drink the night before. I felt hungover, you know. I like called them and I was just like rambling too much. I was like, I've lost this lead. I just knew I lost this lead. I was just talking way too much. I was saying what I was doing too much and how I can provide value too much. And then somewhere through the call, it just clicked, and I went, I should just be asking this person questions. And like if I had just asked questions rather than sell myself, I probably would have just secured that lead then and there. But I was guilty of trying to sell myself too much, and I lost the lead. And you know, it was a lead from Facebook, and you know, it hurts sometimes when you're like, okay, I've just spent $500 to get this lead, and now I've lost it. Yeah, I think for any advice for people out there, is if you are trying to sell your wedding photography service, I think the best way to sell it is not to sell yourself. And I don't know, do you guys kind of agree with that, or how do you feel?
I don't do any marketing, so
Same.
yeah.
Well, when someone first contacts you and calls you, like, what do you say on the phone to them? What's like your approach?
I would definitely ask them first, like, what, how did they meet? Like, you know, those kind of questions
to build rapport.
Build rapport, to get to know them. I should say that my background before photography is sales and retail.
What do you think my input on sales is? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Like, how are you taught sales in sales?
I think you're doing a very good job.
Thank you.
At marketing yourself and do your sales pitch. But you have to see, like, different demographic, you have to have different approach.
I'd love to unpack that with you a little bit.
Okay. Because the way you talk to like different age group has to change as well. Because like a lot of clients, you will have like the older ones from, I don't know, boomers maybe, or how you talk to millennials, which is the same age as me, it will be different than when I talk to Gen Z, which is younger and like more modern, because the moment they were born, technology is everywhere, so you have to keep up with them. But so something like that. So the older generation, maybe I wouldn't talk too much about technology or what I use or the gears, blah blah blah. I just ask them, do you have any photos you have in mind? That's it.
That's a really sophisticated way to approach it. No, that's good job. The way I approach it, one thing I've really been thinking about is how you not only your language you use, depending on who you're trying to communicate to, but also how you like price yourself, how you make your brand look, the sales you use. One thing that I realized was that there's a shop called YD, and then I kind of started to look into who owns YD, and I realized I actually own 3 other brands. They own YD, Tara Cash, and Connor. And the reason they own all 3, I believe, is because they target different demographics with each shop. YD is your high-end shop. They will always do sales that encourage you to buy up. So buy one, get one 20% off. Tara Cash is somewhere in the middle. So they do things like 30% flat discount. So they encourage you to buy at like the same level. And then Connor is your low-end shop. And they will do things like buy one, get one free. So they're targeting like different economic demographics. So like what, and then they're capturing all 3 markets. Wow. And I'm like,
cool.
It's brilliant. Yeah. So, but like, it's kind of like what you're saying. It's like, depending on who they're trying to sell to, they offer different sales and different communication in that way. And I was like, wow, these guys are just like, if I want something cheap that's a man's, kind of clothing like a dress shirt, I would go to Connor. If I want something that's kind of higher end, I'll go and they've just got me no matter where I go.
And still under one umbrella.
One umbrella. But like even like down, like they're very similar in how they brand themselves, and you will notice this next time you go to like Carringknuckle Withers or something, or I don't know, down at Booragoon or something like that. That you will notice all 3 shops are in every single shopping center, but there's slight differences in how they present themselves. And I think it's similar to what you're saying.
There you go. Yeah. So that's what I learned from my lifetime as sales. And I used to work in one of the biggest company that I cannot name.
You signed your life away.
I meet like so many different people in like one day, so that's, I think I have like the experience and the PTSD as well. And that's why I left the industry and go to photography. But in a way, I still have to use my sales.
What skills have transitioned is going to be my question. And then
I guess the biggest one will be the sales skills and the people skills. Yeah, because
Can I go as far as to ask you, what do you do in that? So I know you asked questions in that first phone call. What else do you do? And then I'm going to want to hear your input as well, Peter.
After asking and get to know them, then I would ask them probably, what do you have questions for me? Because I want them to like voice out their concerns, or like if they have any worries, or if they have anything they have in mind about me, so that I can be sure
I love it.
that they actually like me
Yeah.
for me. Because a lot of my clients, they maybe care about the photography, but the whole process, I found out that it's actually better when they like me than just liking my photography, you know.
Because you're gonna vibe well, I think,
Exactly.
like, with your couples and
Yes. You
So-
don't have
and vice
to
versa,
befriend
yeah.
them or anything like that, because you still have to respect each other, that this is a business transaction, right? But you need to make sure that your couple is comfortable with you. Yeah, because it doesn't matter if your photo is the best or like you have the most artistic eye, but if you're a dickhead, like nobody will likes you, right?
Well,
Yeah.
some people like dickheads.
Oh, that's another story. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not ready to-
Yeah, my
what's
approach.
What's your Peter? Yeah, Peter.
My approach to weddings is that I always say to my couples, like, I kind of want everyone to relax and enjoy your day, because you only got it, sort of, once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
How
it's
do you
more
make couples feel relaxed in the lead up? What do you do?
on the day
Put you on
itself,
the spot?
actually.
Yeah, on the day.
I try to be as, like, probably like as a friend, and then like a lot of the stuff, like if I go technically, like I use a silent shutter actually most of the day, except when
I've started to do that, man.
indoor and
Silent
stuff
shutter's
like
good.
so I try to be fly on the wall as much as I can, where to me, I always, like, every time I call my photos as well, like, to me, the photos that I kind of want to keep are the photos like, hey, somehow, I'm there when you were hugging your grandma, like, like that, those kind of photos kind of,
Candid, yeah.
They're amazing, eh?
it
They're a
kind
huge part
of,
of it.
I'll be happy if I get that photo, like, instead of the one that is like, hey, like, looks, as far away as possible, and then like stand here and then do your hand here. Like, I feel like when I do, like, I do have some of the photos as well on the day, but the photos that I kind of resonates me a lot, like, if I can tell a story, like, there's a wedding that I did, I think, a few months ago, and then unfortunately the grandma had a cancer, so she made it on the wedding day, and then for some reason I managed to get a photo without their knowing, like when they were hugging each other when the grandma was leaving the reception, and to me, like, I just feel like,
What a beautiful moment.
yeah,
man.
it's
You
a
captured
beautiful,
something
like,
that's
this
gonna
is a
last them.
beautiful job to have,
Yeah.
like, to be able to document all this
Emotions.
these things. Yeah.
I've had that with my own grandfather. I've got captured many photos of him, and they're so meaningful to me, because he's passed on now. I had a photographer at my engagement party, Enrico Fabia. Might know him. He's a wedding photographer. She shot my engagement party, and he got heaps of photos of my grandfather, who's now passed, and they're amazing memories. So yeah, like you said, you can really produce stuff that's just invaluable to people. Invaluable meaning there's no price on it. It's just like it's so important to people to have these memories, because you can get transported back to that moment where you were hugging your grandmother or your whoever it might be in the photo. So yeah, I agree with you. I think authentic candid moments are huge. They're a big part of a wedding. I think it's probably the first thing you want to get good at, and then your kind of editorial stuff can come later, if that makes sense. Yeah.
And I always feel like the photos and videos on the wedding day, it gets more valuable over time.
Over time.
You know what I mean? Like, it might not be as valuable the next
Now,
day or
yes.
next month. But then in 10 years, so it's like 20 years, it's
Yeah.
like,
That's the
like,
thing about art, right? And
Yeah.
all art is like that. You hear stories of like, Picasso, what's the painter's name? They were like poor during their time, and then after they get discovered, and everyone's like, this art's amazing. I think the same thing happens with photos. Maybe it's not as long of 100 or century, but definitely, a decade, 2 decades on, you're going to watch your wedding film again. You're going to be like, I'm so glad I got this, and I think that's, I had this conversation with Hannah from The Arts of Us, and she was like, I just regret I didn't get the media I wanted. And I was like, I feel the same. Like, and now I've started saying to couples, like, honestly, just go for it. Just get both. I know it's a lot. I know it's expensive, but the regrets that I've heard is that I didn't get it. No one's ever come back to me and said, I regret paying for that, or I regret getting that. It's always, I regret not getting video. I regret not getting the photographer I wanted. I regret not getting these moments or these memories captured. Yeah. And it's more about that experience and as a whole, So yeah, I would say go for it. Just pay for it. I know it's a lot, but we're all working very hard. Like those wedding films are really hard to produce. Like, how much time do you put into post production for a wedding film, Peter?
Ooh.
I put about 30.
Segregated for a few days and weeks even, because you can't do it in 1-2 sittings.
You can't do it in 1-2 sittings. No.
Too hard. Even content. I have to like break it down to like maybe today I will send like first 2 reels and all the raw, and then the next day I will go to the reception part, because reception there's so many things happening, and so hard to pick the right section to put into reels. Yeah, it's
really hard to piece together something on a first look as well.
Yeah.
And then I think you know what I mean. You need to go back and you need to look at it again.
Yes.
You need to go, this is what needs to change. Like I think I say I give my couples rush images, but things like the main photos and the main videos, I don't want to turn them around too quickly, because I want to have the time to actually sit on them and to look at it again.
Yeah.
And I think photographers are getting maybe a little bit lost in how fast they shoot, because I know people are I don't mean any offense if you are doing this, but a lot of photographers are turning photos around in 2 weeks now. And I'm like, I don't think like a full photography gallery and a full video gallery, and I don't think I could produce the level of work even if I just took that one wedding in 2 weeks, because I feel like you need that second look and you need to have a fresh eye on it. Like I did commercial images for the Ritz, and I pieced these images together, and then I had to wait a couple of days or 1 day to look at it again in clear eyes to make sure the color was accurate, and I found it wasn't. That I had stuffed up. And it's like if I had delivered those original photos, the company being so particular and attentive to detail, it would have been like, nah, fix that. You
don't want to rush it. No. You need it to be perfect.
What's your turnaround time, guys? I know my time is for photos, I say about 2 months. 1 to 2 months is kind of how long I take to turn them around.
About the same, 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks, yeah.
Even though I finish it faster, I will still deliver it 6 to 8 weeks, because I need to make sure that it's all good.
I say 8 to 12 weeks on usually on the contract or on the invoice, just to cover myself.
Cover yourself, yeah.
But generally, 4 to 6 weeks, kind of.
Yeah. That's it. Have you seen those photographers pumping our photos in like 2 weeks? Have you noticed that? Like 2 to 3 weeks. Like some people are saying
AI, it is possible to do that, because the AI will call everything.
I see possible for events. For events, we turn photos away the next day. Turn photos around the next day. Not for weddings. I don't think I can.
No.
Not if you want that quality. And
if you want it to be perfect, no. Sorry. Maybe not perfect, but close to. Yeah.
I don't think it's possible. Because like, you notice that a lot of my photos have like exposure brushing. Yeah. And so it's I'm brushing the highlights, I'm brushing the shadows, I'm kind of bringing the image together, and I'm layering it. And if you're going to try and do that to a high degree, you can spend up to an hour per photo. Like I'm not going to spend that long usually on a photo. Usually it's might be 5 to 10 minutes on a photo I really love. But if you have 500 photos and you're spending 10 minutes on each photo, that's a lot of time. It's a lot of time.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring us back to content creation. So you kind of rambled off a little bit, but let's bring it down. It's 2:30 now, so just letting. What time do you need to shoot off, Peter?
I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't have to go anyway.
I'm gonna bring it back to content creators. So first thing, Nia. So now that we've kind of rambled on a little bit and we kind of did a bit of a full circle, do we not agree that content creation is the incorrect term? I think I'm going to say I don't think it's the right term.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, because we all content creators.
Yeah.
We're all
'Cause-
content creators.
yeah.
So what should a so yourself being a photographer,
Yeah.
and a content creator, so you're both. What do you see as the name of content creation? What can be the name of content
It's
creation?
really hard, man, because if I actually want to be called content creator, then I will only create contents, not capturing memories, like creating trends only, or like creating, I don't know, something different that photographer and videographers cannot produce. Only content creating, like advertise, like the TikTok thing when you see save the date with like different song and like different transition. That is content creator, because you are creating content just for the sake of creating content. Yeah.
So more into like more social media trends.
Yeah, social media
of
trends
thing,
and
like
stuff, like
the
something quick,
trend-
2-3 seconds. Yeah.
Trending
Hmm.
music,
Yeah.
trending reels and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
I'm because like photographer is pretty straightforward. Videographer is such a clean, nice word as
It
well.
is, yeah.
And then it's like content creator, and we're like, what is that? What is it? And obviously, it's a combination of things. I think you can definitely, like we unpacked, you can definitely be a professional, and you can definitely fill the space as a professional content creator and not step on anyone's toes, not upset anyone, actually do a really, really good job. I think you probably just need the time and the experience that comes along with actually understanding weddings and your skill set. But yeah, like what is someone who shows up to a wedding with a phone, captures authentic moments
Yeah.
and supplies reels? I don't really think content creator does it justice, personally.
No.
I think we need a new word. I think
We
someone
too.
out there needs to revitalize it.
I feel like my job as wedding content creator on the day is more like behind the scene team for the couple, Yeah, like behind the scene bestie for the couple, because I don't just capture about them, like I capture what happens behind the scene, like the grandma crying, or
BTS producer.
behind the scenes. Yeah, and I capture you guys too, like as the photographer and the videographer.
They have a job for on sets, like cinema production sets, called I think they are just called BTS. You know? So
the behind the scene
yeah,
team.
behind the scene team. So I don't know if that could fill the space. Yeah.
But to me, like in the market place itself, it's
I'm just gonna let you guys keep talking. I'm gonna go check on what my partner's doing.
Okay.
I think content like creator, it fits some couples that really want the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like they want videography, they want photography, they want a content creator for their day and stuff like that. But then, and I find it a lot, like especially when I see like on Facebook and stuff. Oh, guys, like I don't have any budget for the videographer. Like oh, you should look at the content creator.
Yes.
And then,
But it's different. No.
but I think a lot of people still not understanding that.
No.
Like
not
understanding where like, oh hey, like this is a little bit different.
It's
like
hard. Yeah, because
and they feel like, oh, it's a replacement. Like I can just pay this much and then I can replace my videography with this. And
no, I don't think content creator will ever be able to replace videographer, mainly because, well, the aspect ratio itself, I'm shooting only on vertical, and you guys shooting horizontally, like films for you to watch on TV or big screen, and mine is for like quick turnaround and like fun consumption. And people, well, that's why this is good for like the younger generation, where they only watch and consume contents on their phone.
Yeah.
They don't go watch TV at home.
Yeah.
You know.
What sort of age demographic that usually
the younger one,
The younger
for sure.
ones, yeah.
I have more people booking content for maybe I would say 20 to 35. But of course, I do have like the older generation as well who wants this quick instead of waiting for their videographer for I don't know how long. They just want to share with their families and friends. Yeah.
Do you find that you get different type of couples that book you as a photographer and book you as a content creator, or you generally you have the same type of couples?
Oh yes, definitely
Yeah.
different type, because I've also done weddings that don't have photographer and they just
right.
ambush me and say like,
Wow.
oh, you are the only person capturing our
Wow.
wedding. What? No, that's such a big pressure. But if I wasn't a photographer, to me this will be like a big pressure, But because I also a photographer, I know how to direct them and everything. But I think that's not fair for content creators. When the couple only book content creator for their wedding, they shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
On that note, though, like it's funny. Like I got cancelled on a photography once, for the reason of the couple was saying, actually we have a photo booth, so I don't think we need photography for wedding. I was like, okay. I was kind of like sad, but then I was like, okay.
You were replaced by photo booth?
But that's like,
No.
But that's
That's crazy. Every
was-
couple's different, right? Some couples want these, fancy kind of photographers, and others just want a photo booth. That's
but then to cancel just because of you're hiring a photo booth, that was bizarre for me.
Oh no way! Wow.
Yeah. So I had to. My puppy just broke some glass outside. So I had to. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. He's super cute. He's costing me a lot of money. Last night he got into my Italian leather shoes. Bit into them, $550 shoes.
No.
Yeah, so I'm like.
So now you're gonna keep all the leather shoes up high.
Yeah, up high. Broken glass tray outside. Broken blinds. Because anyway, it's what it is. Little puppies. Because they run around and obviously jump on stuff. Anyway, that was a bit off topic. Sorry. Bringing it back. So should vendors bring content creators to a wedding for themselves? What do you reckon?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. If the couple's okay with it.
If the couple's okay, go for it.
But what type of wedding is it? Because you don't want it to be intrusive at all, do you?
Yeah, but because again, the wedding is about the couple. It's not about the vendors. I understand that other vendors who are not photographers or videographers, they never have contents for themselves. So of course they want to promote their business and they need someone to capture all of that. But to an extent, I guess you can always pay the photographer on the day or the videographer on the day because they're already doing it anyway. What's wrong with paying you guys and get the footage from you guys,
What do you mean, sorry? You mean...
So if the couple already have a photographer or videographer, you can always ask the photos from the photographer or ask to pay for the photos for the vendors. So if I'm the florist, for example, or I'm a coordinator, can I have you take a photo of me doing the flowers and stuff, Yeah.
For I think we did one wedding together where Nia was actually doing content for...
That's right.
For
I do that a lot.
A vendor, but we had a great time. That was a great day as well. So I think as long as they communicate as well with the couples, hey, like, is it cool for me to bring a content creator for my marketing and stuff like that? If it's cool for you, and then you like, I'm happy to share the content as well to the couple. So it brings actually more value to the couple themselves actually on the day,
That's
So-
why it's a yes and no. Yes, because it's very good, and we get to
But I think the
connect.
line is like if you don't really ask the couple, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden like there's an ambush of like all these vendors that they don't hire, and then suddenly come to their wedding.
Who
then
is these
yeah.
people, or if they get in the way of the main vendors as well. So that's a big
Yeah.
no-no, because I heard a lot of horror stories where content creators taking over the wedding, even though they know they have photographer and videographer, and content creators needs to know what they're actually supposed to capture. If you are there for the vendor, or like that time I was there for the celebrant, my main focus is the celebrant. I shouldn't be in the way of you capturing your couple.
Like after I did one wedding with the content creator, and then she brought a full frame camera as well, with a decent lens, and I can tell because, and then I was like, man, like this is kind of like, are you content creating, or are you creating another type of content? Or,
What's your thoughts on that? What do you think?
Well,
Don't do it.
No.
yeah, I don't.
So
I don't
if you,
think
so
that-
I
if you,
have it in my contract. Like,
yeah, because if you're selling content creation, it's very different to photography,
yes,
and it's a different skill set.
yeah,
To be able to use a phone than to be able to use a professional level camera.
yeah,
Yes, there's a cost of having the more expensive gear, but it's also possessing the ability to use the gear. you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because you have a phone doesn't mean you know how to use it to create content,
Mhm. That as
Same
well.
goes
yes.
with camera, professional
Mhm.
camera as well. So yeah.
Mm.
But in your case, I actually have in my contract, if I'm the photographer, nobody else are allowed to like bring their professional camera
Oh,
and
yeah.
take photos same time as me.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a big no for me. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could cause a few problems if you're selling a content creation package for less than what you would sell a photography package and then offer photography. I mean, I guess yes and no. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe practicing, it's good as well if they do want to get into the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. You can't really control what other people do, can you? It's really difficult.
True.
But I think as an ethical practice, you probably shouldn't. Like if you're a paid professional as a content creator, I would say if you're going to be bringing your own professional DSLR camera, you probably are going to start stepping on other people's toes and stuff,
Definitely.
and cause some
Yeah.
problems there. I would say you're probably better off doing styled shoots.
Yeah.
Getting into photography that way, or doing pre-wedding shoots would be really good to get into photography. I would say
Do
probably
second
shooting as well.
Mm.
The spaces and ways to get into it. I mean, I definitely wouldn't bring my video camera as a photographer and start producing videos as well. I
Yes.
think that's not really cool of me to do. Or if I was a videographer, then I bring a camera and I'll be like, hold on a second, guys, I just need to get this photo as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And then
my-
knowing where they stand as well, like it's kind of important as well. Like not,
Yeah.
like knowing the photographer. If the photographer is in the middle of the aisle shooting to the front, knowing like they're not gonna be, at the back of the couple, like videoing the,
Getting in
they're
the
reading
frame.
vows, or
Yeah.
they're reading vows or something. Like yeah. I guess knowing each other's faces and
Yeah.
respect each other's faces. I guess that's
Knowing
important.
where you stand on the day, so that you're not getting in the frame or blocking your view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know that phone is very limited, and you have to be
Very close.
very close to get the shot. I never needed to do that. I like wide shot, so that
Yeah.
I can capture everything and whatever happenings
Yeah.
around, like outside the frame.
How many people are pursuing content creation at the moment? Because I don't know of many. I know of you.
Yeah.
And then I know of like two others maybe.
There are a lot of new content creators popping up. Yeah. But
Is it a hard industry to get into?
Is it?
I
I
don't
think
know,
it's
unless
very easy. I think
easy?
it's very easy because content creation is the lowest budget, right? So
So the barrier of entry is
exactly. Yeah, you don't need to invest in all of this gear.
Mhm.
All you need is a phone.
Mhm.
Yeah. well, that's a start, but I think it's
Yeah.
easier to be content creator than photographer or videographer.
And I'm going. Let's dive into more of the controversial opinions now. So, you as a photographer specifically, I don't know how I'm going to phrase this question. I kind of want to know, I kind of want to know your input on the hatred towards content creation a little bit more. So, what's some of the worst stuff you've heard? Let's start with that about content creators.
The fact that they think we will produce like lower quality compared to photography and videography, which in a way I guess it's true, but the point of content creation is not to give you like the best quality photo to be hang on the wall. It's something quick that you can enjoy and scroll through on the next day. So yeah, it's not the best quality, but which is okay. And then there's also videographers who say like, oh, content creator will not deliver video with the best audio quality. Sometimes it's true as well, but with my setup, I can deliver good audio.
See, but you have a really in-depth understanding, being that you do photography as well.
Yes.
So do you think there's more space for like high-end content creators then? Do you think is it always going to be this thing that's considered low-end? Could you do it to a high-end kind of degree?
Yes, because there are luxury content creators who only do luxury weddings. So I'm guessing their gears have to be like more expensive, or like they invest more on their gears and their people. Because I know content creators who...
Are you going beyond the phone? Because I know you have you have the Osmo. So
I have my Osmo connect with DJI Mic 2.
Yep.
And I will never bring my professional camera, because I think as content creator, this DJI Osmo Pocket is the best.
It's a good camera, eh?
It's good camera.
DJI are incredible. I use the Action 5, which is that little camera behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone at the moment. Yeah, and that thing's amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Like I had the Insta 360 X4.
Go?
I had the Go. I had the Go.
You had the
I sold it, and I have the X4. I sold it, and I used the money to get the Action 5.
Okay.
The Action 5. I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I feel like the 360 camera was a bit of a gimmick, to be honest.
It is.
Yeah. It was just.
It takes a long time to edit as well.
That's the problem. It was like.
Don't
it's
have
just,
time for
no,
that,
I don't have
James.
time.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Like I do so much work in every other kind of as a photographer, I'm working every week and producing images every week, and when I'm doing photos for myself or for my BTS, I don't want to have the extra post-production that comes along with 360 footage, and I just have to process it and put the keyframes in. I was like, nah, I just much rather to have it set up so I have the single kind of, there's a beauty to that. And like coming back to even just like film as a whole, I've been shooting film a lot more just to really come back to the roots of photography and try and rediscover some passion, because I've really I'm passionate about photography, but I've lost my passion practice, if that makes sense. So I don't do seascapes anymore. I don't do street portraits anymore. I don't take photos of my family. And it's because, I spend so much time working as a photographer, which I'm very blessed to do. But it's taken a lot of work to get to that point. So the last thing I want to do is, take photos in my free time like I did once upon a time.
Yeah.
Have you guys lost that passion at all in any way?
When the hobby becoming a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I finish my wedding, my camera stays in the bag until I shoot another wedding again. Because when I look at my camera, it's time to go to work now.
Yeah, that's right.
I think if you asked me a month ago before my trip.
Did you bring your camera?
Oh, I brought because I did a wedding in Bali. It was an amazing wedding.
I love it.
I think as a creative, like in the creative industry, I think you really need to know where you space yourself, where like you have a bit of a break. I think it
balance.
It's not just like in photography. I think like even like if you do music, you can't keep doing it, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year without having a break. I think
Burnout.
you ended up
Yeah.
having like, oh, I don't want to be here. Like
Yeah, I got pretty close to that point this week, to be honest. I'm getting there, so I'm taking a weekend off. I'm going away.
oh, that's
Not
good.
gonna,
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
yeah, not
You
gonna.
need it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, because I've been doing 2 podcasts a week lately as well. So it takes a lot of time and shooting in between that as well and post production. So August is usually my quietest month. I don't know about you guys. Is August your quietest month?
I'm
Usually
still
July for me.
keep going.
July,
yeah.
yeah.
July isn't it? Right?
August, yeah, a little bit quieter. It's different for me because I know you both do like a lot of big weddings, but my weddings, majority of them are, registry weddings and elopements. So
So
I'm still
you do
shooting
in
weddings
June,
now.
July, yeah.
Just throughout the
Do
year.
you find August is quieter than June, July for those?
Little bit,
Yeah,
yes.
same with me for
Yeah,
the smaller
August is very
kind of stuff.
quiet.
Yeah,
Maybe
August is
because of the
quiet.
weather.
It's just I think everyone's on holiday.
Yeah.
We jumped in. What's up? I can't really read your name, but it's Lewin Wape. He jumped out because I couldn't read his name. I can't focus for me, unfortunately. I need to get a bit closer. That's all right. We won't worry about the audience right now. Let's keep on topic, and I think we'll wrap it up in a second, so Peter can get home, because it's almost 3. I don't want you to be in traffic, man.
No,
Got bad traffic
Yeah.
driving that
You
way.
live far down
I got one
south.
question before
Yeah.
you wrap it up.
Yeah,
Do you
of
have any
course.
more questions?
No, let's
It's
we'll
kind
have
of
it,
questions that I kind of ask myself and ask people that in the industry that I kind of know, because unfortunately I'm hitting towards closer to my 40s now, and I kind of think like, hey, like keep asking my wife as well, like, how long can I do this for? Like,
Yeah,
is
that's a
this
good question.
in the industry that you can work up until 50, 60s, like other industries? Then because like there's some weddings, man, like
Takes it
in
out
the
of
middle
you.
of in the middle of summer, 42-degree day.
Yeah.
It was like
They're tough.
it's
man.
not easy.
They're not
it's
easy.
they're not easy at all.
Yeah.
Like and
Basically,
if you do double header
demanding.
or a triple header,
Yeah.
man, you feel like can you do this? Like, but then at the same time, at this stage, I'm still doing it just because, I just to fill up. People don't understand, like people who does this full time, they need to make enough to cover the whole year.
Yes.
Yep.
Enough to cover the down months as well, like
Yep.
the quiet months as
Yeah.
well.
Because
And
wedding is seasonal.
Weddings are
and-
very seasonal.
yeah, and I
Yo.
think a lot of couples, they're still judging it like, oh, you coming in like for 8 hours and you charge this much, and like they don't know like the amount of time that's
What we do
needed
behind the
after
scene. Yeah.
and stuff like that. So.
I think there's a few things that couples need to understand about weddings. First is the seasonal. That is a very big topic. And if you see the thing is that a lot of people who are out there looking for a photographer, they want to find a photographer who only shoots weddings because they perceive that as someone who is more valuable to someone who shoots a variety of different things. And that's a marketing gimmick, in my opinion, if I'm just going to be honest, because it's very difficult to make a full-time as a wedding photographer. And I think a lot of the time, most wedding photographers are doing something else on the side. Don't know if that's kind of your experience as well.
Yeah.
You
Well,
shoot
personally, this is
family and
full-time for
stuff.
me.
Full-time for you, but
Yeah.
most people,
Most
kind
is like a side, sort
Side
of like a
hustle,
weekend warrior.
that's
kinda.
it.
Yep.
So my question to them is, would you rather a photographer who does this week in, week out, or someone who's pretending to be a full-time wedding photographer but is actually part-time, And I think that's a big thing. And the reason, so I've revamped my website and have a marketing funnel, and it's all catered to weddings. And I perceive to the couple that I'm a wedding photography expert, but I do shoot other things, but I don't really promote it as much on my Instagram or on, because I don't want to dilute my messaging. And it's entirely marketing. I don't think I would sustain as lucrative a business if I only just did weddings compared to if I dabble in a few different things. And maybe wouldn't even, potentially I probably wouldn't even be able to do it full time. Who knows, And I think couples get a little bit lost in that, and it kind of puts a lot of pressure on vendors, right?
Yeah.
To only shoot one thing. And I think that kind of prevents a lot of people from stepping over into that category of being full-time. I know for me personally, having a few different core industries that I specialize in has done a lot better compared to if I was to just do one thing. I don't really know where I'm going with this, to be honest. I think my message is like to couples is, you know, really like ask yourself, you know, who you're hiring, and don't get lost in that messaging too much. Like you can find amazing photographers who don't just shoot weddings, you know, who shoot a variety of different things. And I think that needs to be broken down a little bit. I think we do need to acknowledge that it is a seasonal industry. It's a very hard industry to make it in. If you are going to do it full time, you're going to make a lot of your money across 3 months, and you need very, very good money management skills across the rest of the year. So the cost that they're paying for, if they do just want that full-time kind of wedding photographer, it has to, like you said, cover the whole year. That was a bit of a loopy loop. Did that answer any question? I don't really know.
I don't know how long will I do this for either.
Oh, sorry, that
Peter?
was the other part to the question, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How long can you do it for? I personally think I'll probably hit my cap at about 50. I reckon it's gonna be a nice wedding. And then and then from there, I reckon it's going to be my other work, my commercial work is going to come through, and I'm probably going to do it.
You're going to transition slowly to that.
Or do studio works where people come to you instead of you bringing all these gears to them. Right? Yeah.
I think that's kind of that's a natural progression, which is why I think it's important to have your foot in a few different puddles, right? So you can kind of branch out over time and stop putting the strain on your body.
That's right.
And especially weddings as well. Like as you age older, I find it that, you know, generally most of the time the type of couples that you do are staying at the same age.
Yes,
will be like 25s to probably like 35s. You know, or
you need to be a hip
yes, you'll
50-year-old.
get like couples that is like over 50s, but
yes,
you know, for the majority of it, it will be like 25s to, you know, 35s, you know, or like 20 to 35s, and as you grow older, and I feel like it's probably trickier and trickier to relate to them.
Yes,
because you're like they're half of your age, you know, like
different generation.
It will be completely different generation as well.
It will be,
and then you're in the marketplace. You're competing against, you know,
the younger
photographers,
younger photographers who are more savvy,
more
stamina, more savvy, and then maybe more like they know, you know, they know the jokes, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like,
the language barriers.
I think it's a serious consideration that you need to have. I think you can do it. I think your brand messaging would need to change over time, right? You need to be a luxury, high-end 45, 55-year-old wedding photographer, has assistants on site carrying the gear. You're kind of more like a director or something like that. Because you know there are photographers out there who are doing it late into their years. I think it's just a difficult industry to work out and continually be ahead of the game in. I think you really need to always be learning and adapting and evolving and identifying where you can improve, and it's exhausting, right?
It is. Anyway, when we're talking about this, like I thought about how different the wedding industry in Indonesia, we're from Indonesia, and in Australia. A wedding in Indonesia is usually very big, and the photography and videography team is also big, and they also have like assistant, second shooter, third shooter.
Do you ever include assistants in your packages?
At this stage, I don't have it.
No,
I do now. I
just
do all of them.
Yeah,
okay.
all of them.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
is
okay.
it all inclusive or is it an add-on?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
it's all inclusive.
That's a good one, actually. I like that.
So
they know they
always,
will have to.
Always have it. Yeah. So I'm predominantly selling photo video packages now. So if someone's trying to book me 12 months in advance, I wouldn't book one or the other service. I'll only book two services.
Okay.
If it's coming within 12 months or within maybe more like 6 months, I'll start to consider But I just feel like it's because it's happening a lot now where my biggest hindrance in weddings is double bookings. I turn so many people away, because everyone wants the same date. Everyone wants the February, March, April.
October.
Usually the
Or
last
November.
the last weekend.
Yeah.
I don't get too many in November actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think
November
September,
is my
October.
busiest.
September, October is my busiest. Yeah.
Ah.
September, October. I find November dies off a little bit. So September, October every weekend. November probably 3 weekends. December 2 weekends. It's kind of
Oh.
like how my events and weddings congregate.
I see.
Yeah. Not just weddings, events as well. They always follow the same pattern.
Every
October
year.
31st is just, I have that week from the 20th to the 31st, I have like 8 events on eight. You know, it's
Wow.
like insane. And then next week in
Busy.
November, the first week of November is nothing. It's dead.
Yeah.
They don't have maybe 0 or 1. And
Okay.
it's like, you know, it's just everyone wants the same date.
Yeah.
And I always find that I get double booked, and I can't justify offering the photo video package, getting a 6-hour photography book in, and then someone inquiring, going, I want a 10-hour, 12-hour photo
Photos
video.
and videos,
And I'm like, you know, so I'm honest with couples. I'm like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like if you want photo and video, sure. But, you know, that's what I specialize in. That's what I do. That's what I'm passionate about providing. But if you're looking for one or the other, and you're looking for a 6-hour day, and you're going to book me 18 months in advance, it's very hard for me to say yes to that, because it's, you know,
you know that you're going to get booked.
Yeah.
I'm very, very likely that date's going to be filled in with a bigger job, a bigger package. And yes, it does have to be about the money at that point, because it's a seasonal job. I can only take so many in a year.
Yeah.
And I need to, if you know, you want to specialize in weddings, you do have that, you know, I am only going to be able to do this so many weekends of the year, and I need to take the biggest possible jobs I can. And that's the.
So on that note, what do you think of hiring another team for you? And if that day you already booked, then you can send someone else to shoot for you, because I know a lot of photographers and videographers are doing this. They have a team, and then they just send someone else to shoot for them.
Yeah, so I do it with events. All my events are very rarely photographed by me nowadays.
Okay.
I don't think it's the right approach to take with weddings. Truthfully.
Personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think weddings, it's the portrait element to weddings, and there's more to it. It's you like when you shoot an event. So when you're shooting maybe even like a reception, let's say, and you're using on-camera flash, your lighting's very consistent. There's very little deviation between one photographer to the next.
Yeah.
So if I shoot like a corporate event, it's very symmetrical lighting. It's very easy to produce. There's not much deviation between each person. But when you shoot a wedding and you're setting up things like off-camera flash, or you're setting up off-camera LED light, or you're doing flat lays, or you're making the couple feel comfortable in front of the camera, even if you train someone, there's going to be a very big difference between the images you're going to get. Your creative eye, the way you work with someone. And I feel like the way to command really high rates in weddings, even as a company who might offer something like photo and video, is to have that one point of contact, to be the face of the company, to show up on the job, and to actually be the person producing those images. And I think that's how you make it exclusive. And I think the wedding industry thrives on exclusivity.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. I think, I don't know, maybe you could make more money doing things like hiring out other photographers, but then I feel like you're always going to be capped at a certain price. And I don't want to get into that bracket. I want to surpass that bracket, and I want to be not worrying about what other people are charging.
Yeah.
You know, I want to worry about what I'm providing.
Yeah.
And then knowing what someone will pay for it. And then I think when you think of it that way, the sky's the limit with how much you can charge, really. Then,
That's right.
Yeah.
I kind of do agree with that. Like being in the wedding is very different than like events or like even birthday parties, you know, like or engagement parties. There's a personal element into it, and you know, relationship between you on the day as well with the couple.
Connection
the
between you and the
the
couple.
with the bridal party, and that you know, and that doesn't translate like hiring someone. Hey, what sort of gear do you have? Do you have the same camera? Do you have the same lenses? You might have the same gears, but then
the result is not the same.
It's the smallest part of it. It's like it's that eye, man.
The things that come out from it will be completely different.
It's completely different. It's how you make people feel. It's how you work with them, what you're thinking in the moment, and your eye. You know, like your creative vision and your eye is always changing and always evolving. So I personally think weddings are a better approach. I mean, I would see the potential to have business structure where you have people on the books or something like content creation. I think content creation you probably get away with it. Event photography, I can definitely get away with it. But coming into weddings, I think you're playing with a very a sharp blade, because you can you drop the knife, it can land on your foot, and it's kind of what I'm saying. If someone stuffs up on your behalf, it's going to come back on you, and you don't want to stuff someone's wedding up.
Exactly.
That's like a really
there's no redoing.
No, there's no redoing. It's
Yeah.
it's not like a birthday where you're going to have one next year. It's not like a corporate event where you can reshoot it. It's it's a big kind of day. Could be the biggest. Should be the biggest day of your life. And, so you want to make sure that as a company you're providing the best service you can, and then I think that's the way to approach it. Got Diesel in. What's up, Diesel? Diffray, what's up, man? And we got Akusa. How you guys going? Any last questions? It is 3:00, so I'm gonna just put it out. Yeah, no, it goes quick. Gonna put it out to the audience one final time. Let us know if you have any questions, guys. We're just about to wrap up. Do you guys have any kind of like last remarks, last thoughts? So kind of just dived in. Like, I definitely think there's a cap on wedding photography lifespan. I reckon, So I'm trying to diversify a little bit and have somewhere to go after. That makes sense. 'Cause I am thinking about it. Every time I shoot a wedding, I'm like, I've taken 5 years off my life. It's crazy. And then I also think couples need to be honest with themselves about how much they are paying and how it is going to sustain has to sustain this person's whole year if they are only shooting weddings, which is usually kind of what they're looking for. Me personally, I do shoot a variety of different things because I think I wouldn't be able to manage my money. Hats off to you for being able to do it. But if I got all my payments in like September to November, and then it's like, how am I going to sustain the rest of it? So I'm like, as long as I get a few small jobs here and there, so that's
so would you be like flexible on your price when people wants to book you during that quiet months, or you're pretty firm with your price?
I am starting to actually double back on my comments about never discounting. So there's a few instances where I'm offering discount. I'm not going to disclose them because I think that's something that's actually, I think pricing. I think we should have more open discussions about pricing. But I'm don't want to disclose too much on how I would discount my work. I'm going to say that I don't necessarily discount my work, but there are instances. I'll give one example, like a wedding expo. I've put a lot of money into the wedding expo, so I want to secure jobs on the wedding expo, so it makes sense for me to provide a discount there. That's one example. So like a 5% discount, because that's me saying I've spent $5,000 on my station or whatever it might be. I kind of want to, secure, and my time here, I kind of want to secure jobs, here on the spot. So stuff like that's kind of maybe where I'll offer a discount. Yeah. I am very firm though. What I might do, so like I said before, one thing I can disclose is, if someone's coming to me with a June wedding, usually they will be getting in touch 6 months in advance rather than 18 months in advance. I might offer them the photography only option. Maybe my minimum package is 6 hours. Maybe that's too big for the day. Let's look at customizing it for 4 hours, stuff like that. Maybe we don't need an assistant on site because it's a smaller wedding. Let's see if we can reduce the price
Solo
that way.
shooter.
Yeah. So we can structure the packages a little bit more.
Okay.
So with the assistant, is that like, for you personally, is that assistant as in someone who's helping you with the lights, or it's more into like a second shooter, sort of people who's coming with a bit of a technical camera skills and being able to shoot maybe during the cocktail hour, or like
so the way I've structured the reason I've started to bring an assistant to every single job is it allows me to train someone, so I can provide training while they also allow me to shoot with my style, which is very big on gear. It's very big on lighting. So I'm using off-camera flash. And if I can teach someone to use off-camera flash while they're assisting, maybe they will be doing things like capturing a second angle, or maybe they'll be doing things like moving the tripod, very basic stuff like that. But then it also allows me to kind of explain my thoughts to them and to say, this is kind of what I'm thinking. This is what I want you to do. And then it allows me to kind of, move people through. And that's kind of how I've managed to secure and retain staff in spaces like the event space. It's what I've been doing. to get people I trust, and it allows me to filter through as well. So some people who we don't end up vibing with, we'll stop working with them. And it's as bad as that sounds, but you got to vibe, and so some people are out there to maybe take advantage of the situation, and allows you to kind of filter through that to bring the people into the team that you really want to work with.
Oh, that's really nice, James. You're actually paying people to learn, and you teach them,
of course,
while paying them.
Of course,
that's really nice.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you seen that reel from Josh Huggett Media?
Which one? Yeah.
When he says like, if someone wants to learn about like photography, you should come to me and say that, okay, can I do second shooter for you, and I will pay you the main shooter.
But there's I have to say that I kind of agree with Josh on some points, but I firmly disagree with other points. I think he's I wanted to talk about him, but
he's very extreme, man.
He's very extreme. But I'm worried that I'm gonna get you stuck in traffic. So
Sorry.
You'll hate me after, because it does get bad. So we'll wrap it up soon. But I did want to talk about him specifically, but not just him, but how people are starting their personality and getting bookings that way, rather than, like, you look at Josh's Instagram, there's barely any of his work, it's just his personality.
Yes.
I don't even think his website, is probably just, and he's booking so many weddings on that. And it's really interesting. He's actually taken a studio approach as well, I think, where he's subcontracting photographers to cover jobs that he can't be at. So we'll see how that goes, for him over the next 5 years. I'm really interested, and the world's eyes are on him. So let's see how it kind of evolves. So what was your question?
Second shooter.
Oh yes.
Pay main shooter.
So there's a difference. There's a difference. So I think there's a difference between. It comes down to the professional relationship. So the people I'm bringing on now aren't subcontractors, if that makes sense. They're people who have, no gear usually. So it's they're using my gear, very little experience, and they need the training, and they don't have established businesses. If someone's coming to me as an established photographer with their own gear, their own clients, and then they're going to go, I want a second shoot from you and learn what you're doing so I can bring it into my own business. There's going to be a bit of a standoff, kind of, I'm probably going to be more hesitant to say, come in to, so you got to pick the right people. You can't have a good business without the right people. And so that's kind of my approach to it. So it's knowing who you can work with, and knowing who's going to provide your company value, and in turn you're going to provide them value, which is the education and the money, and so you need to kind of pick the right people and not get lost in. I think our industry over relies on subcontractors, and that's kind of the gap I see at the moment.
Okay.
When I used to start, like I used to even comes, asking photographer, hey, like, if you don't mind, I come to your wedding as a second for free, just because I love your work so much, like, like even like James Simmons, like I'll be stoked, like just to come in. You don't have to pay me, like, I just enjoy.
But so you see, like, Simmons is at the point now with his art and his practice where, I second shot for James Simmons, and the amount of value I got from second shooting from him, I'd be pretty worried if I, what I mean, because he's so good. He's so good. And just watching him and understanding how he uses light, how he composes photos. There is a point in time where you get to such a level of proficiency, you do need to be a little bit careful, with what you say and who you bring into your inner circle. And that is true. And it's not a matter of, it's not in the sense that you're gatekeeping, but you need to protect the craft you've developed for 20 years, So I don't want to provide. Yes, I do a podcast and I'm happy to provide value, but there are always those certain things that you keep close to yourself, right? And you
your
have
secret
to.
sauce.
Your secret sauce. The one ingredient that kind of makes something from extraordinary to magical. And you can give people, everything up to the extraordinary, but it's that last step to really produce the magical that kind of differentiates people who would consider themselves artists like Simmons, and so and that's my opinion there.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool.
I think we're gonna wrap up so we can get Peter home. So yeah, we've been going a while. That was a really good episode. We got 3 viewers in here at the moment, so I'm really thankful for everyone who has stuck around and who has watched and got some value. So once again, we had Nia from Created by Nia Lee, both a photographer and content creator, and then we had Peter from Kapture Moment, a photographer and videographer. So yeah, this episode will be live on Spotify and YouTube probably tomorrow. The uploads are quite large. Before we wrap off, this episode is supported by Rode. Rode do phenomenal gear. Just listen to how amazing this sounds. And these arms are really cool.
Thank you, Rode.
Thank you, Rode.
So Rode did provide some support to get this podcast up off the ground. I was using Rode gear way before that. And then, yeah, I was ecstatic when I managed to get some support from them. So kudos and hats off to them. Thank you so much for being involved in this podcast. All right, guys, we're gonna sign off. Let's play that little outro song. How cool is this outro song, eh? All right, peace out, people.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching.